You know something? It doesn't matter what kind of spiritual leader you are. If you're a pastor, if you're a minister, if you're a priest, a priestess, if you're a shaman, if you're a medicine woman, it doesn't matter what kind you are. We all deal with one very common issue. There's probably more than one, but it's one that comes to mind. Many times we deal with people who are having a crisis of faith. And you might be wondering, what exactly is a crisis of faith? A crisis of faith is when somebody doesn't know what to believe anymore. They don't know if their spiritual system is right because they've heard conflicting things. They don't know if God is real. They want to know, how do I know God is real? You know, they don't know if they should be one spiritual system versus another one. So some people come to these spiritual leaders, because I'm a priestess of Mayat. I get it all the time. And people come and they're like, well, how do I know what's right for me? How do I know what's real? And we deal with this question a lot. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it because a couple days ago, a woman sent me this letter. And in essence, she's having a crisis of faith. And I wanted to talk about it here because I thought some of you might have some ideas about this, and some of you might have experienced this or might be experiencing it now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to drink some water. Because I've been talking all day and my throat is about to faint on me. And I'm going to do the introduction, and then I'm going to tell you her letter. It's really short, and I'm going to explain my answer. Okay? Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Alset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it too, and drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And please stick around to the end of the video, because when the video is over, I'm going to read and respond to 2 positive comments at random from the comment section. And one of them might be yours. If you would like to get a reading done, if you would like to send me a gift from my Amazon wish list, if you would like to become a patron on my Patreon, if you would like to get some Ask an Aquarius merchandise, if you would like to send me a gift through PayPal, all of that information is underneath this video. Okay, so please feel free to check it out. All right guys, so let's talk about her crisis of faith. She said, Queen, you often talk about communicating with Goddess. What I don't understand is, why doesn't God answer me? I have been praying and praying, and I haven't gotten a response for over a year. I also discussed this with some of my friends and family, and many of them have experienced the same thing. Why doesn't God answer when I pray? So this is a very common question, and I wanted to give you guys what I see from experience. I've been doing this for like 20 something years now, and I've seen this over and over and over again. And this is the thing, right? She, like many other people, the reason why God does not answer is because you watch too much TV. And you might be wondering, what the heck does TV have to do with God responding to you? Everything. Most people get their information about spirituality, either every form of it, positive and negative. Most people get this information from television. And we don't realize how much popular culture messes with our mind. Also, some people might have seen this in holy books. But this is the deal. A lot of people are expecting a big, dramatic kind of response. We're expecting to be walking down the street and a bush just burst into flames and give us all the answers that we've been looking for. Or we think that the sky is going to open and God's going to say, thou shalt do X. And you're like, oh, okay, God. You know? Or maybe call you on the phone and say, Yerp, heard your prayer. The money's on the way. Deuces. This is not how it works. I know in the Bible, they had some real dramatic stuff happen. And to be honest with you, I've seen some real dramatic stuff. But the average person does not experience a burning bush. The average person does not experience stuff like that. The average person, it comes in more mundane, subtle ways. The answers come to you and you ignore them because you don't realize that that's what it is. When you get on your knees and say a prayer, 9 times out of 10, God is going to answer you in a more mundane way than you are expecting. Sometimes you're praying and you might see a vision. You might even hear or feel God in your heart. That does happen with some people too. But for the average person, it's a thought that comes to their mind. It's a child who walks in and says something profound that they had no way of understanding. The Creator has access to the entire planet. So the way that the Creator answers us is through the creations on the planet. A billboard you saw driving down the street. Off-color comment your mama made to you. A dream your grandmom had. These things, a dream you had. These are the ways the universe answers us. God, Goddess, universe, creator, whatever you want to call it. A lot of times, that's how it comes. I'll give you a perfect example. When I first started to get into spirituality, I was at a Barnes and Noble's bookstore in Chestnut Hill. Was it Chestnut Hill? It was somewhere out there. But anyway, it was Barnes and Noble's. So I was standing there and I was looking, I had been praying on some things I needed help with. And I was looking at books and just kind of perusing and waiting for my friend who was getting something for her child. And I pulled out one book and a totally different book fell at my feet. And I looked down and I was like, okay. I picked it up to see, maybe it was interesting. And it was an answer to what I had been praying about. And it wasn't a big revelation. It was just a book, a regular old $17.95 book that fell at my feet. And where my eyes rested, I read the paragraph and I was like, oh shit. This is what I was thinking about. And I bought the book, of course. Actually, I still have that book. It was a book about Egyptian philosophy. And I was wondering about how to be a good person, how to stop lying. That was my question, was how to be honest without how to be honest and not harsh at the same time. I'm still working on this, but the book was saying that honesty is the most important part. So there's going to be times when it's going to be hard to say, but be honest. And it just fell at my feet. And I was like, wow. So that's how it comes to us. It comes to us in these ways. And because of the fact that it's not a burning bush, most of us ignore it. Or we say, oh, okay, but I'm waiting for God to tell me. And my thing is, God has been telling you. God has been giving you dreams. You've seen billboards. People have said profound things to you. You've been on Instagram and a meme popped up with the answer right in your face. but you didn't get it because you're waiting for God to call you on the phone. And that's not how it works. When I first met one of my friends, this is really funny. One of my friends in Aquarius knew nothing about magic at all. His whole magical understanding was from television and movies, which is really bad because only 50% of that is real and the other 50% is straight fiction. So you don't know what to believe and what not to. But anyway, he didn't know anything about magic. And it was a full moon and I was casting a spell, a money spell, because I needed some money. And I did the money spell. And a couple of days later, and it was like really fast too, it was like 2 or 3 days later, a friend of mine that owed me money came into some money and sent me my money and paid me to do some spiritual work for her. So it was quadruple the amount of money that I even was expecting. I wasn't even expecting that much. I just needed to pay a bill, you know? I was so appreciative. And he said to me, well, then your spell didn't work. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, if your friend gave you the money, then Goddess didn't give you the money. And I said, what did you think Goddess was going to do? Put it on the altar with a note that said, that, you know, that's what's up, dog, holla. Is that what you expected? And he was like, well, I thought she would give it to you. And I was like, she did give it to me. This friend who didn't have any money came into money and then called me and gave me 4 times the amount of money that I needed. And you don't see the correlation between the energies here. And he was like, oh. And I'm like, it doesn't work like you think it does. They don't just hand me a stack of money on my altar. Like I do the spell and I wake up in the morning and the stack of money is on my altar. Now, I do know people who have found money, like they've done a money spell and the next day found the amount they were looking for. And I was like, that's pretty impressive. But in general, it can be any of these things. You can find it. It can come because a person, like in my case, came into money unexpectedly and gave it to you. It could be a check that came in the mail that has been missing and all of a sudden found its way to you. But these things, God responds in mundane ways, not in these big grandiose ways that we're used to seeing in movies. So for her question, God is answering her, but because it's not coming in this big dramatic kind of way, she's ignoring it. Because when I started to ask her questions about the situation, I immediately saw the answer. I immediately saw it and said it to her. And she said, I thought that, but because God didn't respond, I wasn't sure. That's what she told me. So as soon as she said that to me, I was like, I got to do a video. I got to do a video about this because I think this happened. I know this happens a lot. When somebody's going through a crisis of faith and they just can't understand why Spirit isn't responding. Spirit is responding. It's going to respond to you through everything, through your intuition, through your dreams, through the gifts that somebody may give you. The universe is constantly listening to you and responding to you. Regardless of what you call God, God is creator, that being is always in you, a part of you. So if you are praying, look for your answers to come in mundane ways. Now, after I got into spirituality, I have seen some stuff. I have had visions. I have had one-on-one conversations with Goddess and meditations. I've had all kind of stuff happen. Stuff that would have scared me. Would have scared me when I was younger. I've seen and dealt with and experienced. But that happened later, after I was initiated. Now, I did see some stuff with ghosts and spirits before being initiated as a priestess. But I mean directly mano y mano with Goddess, that happened later. Okay? When I first started experiencing Goddess, it was in dreams. And I didn't even know who she was. I was like, who is that? And I woke up and Googled it, and that's how I found out. I was like, wow. But it was just a dream. Something that somebody else might not have even noticed. But it was profound to me. And when I woke up, I was like, that wasn't a dream. I felt it strongly. And that's why I went to Google. So to answer the question, yeah, God answers. The question is, when you're going to listen and when you're going to take heed, because you've already got the answers. If you're not certain, ask for clarity. As you pray, say, you know, God, I know you're answering me. Please give me clarity because I'm not getting it. Please give me some clarity. Give me an answer in a way that I can comprehend it. Pray for that. But trust me, God always responds. All right, guys. So let's take a look at these wonderful positive comments. The first one came from Yvonne Vanderhoot. Hey, Yvonne. I don't know if it's Hoot or... Well, hold up. I think I said the whole thing wrong. Hold up. It's Yvonne Veerhout. I think that's right. Let me know, Yvonne, if it's Veerhout. Yvonne said, those ungrateful people don't deserve the effort. I would detach immediately from them. Oh yeah, anytime you put effort into a person and they don't appreciate your effort, it's time to stop putting in effort. I immediately be like, oh, you don't appreciate me? Cool. No problem. The one thing I learned from dating in my 20s and 30s is if somebody does not appreciate me, halt. Because that is a red flag. Leave that alone. Jennifer Cologne. Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer said, just met an Aquarius male. That's what's up. I'm a Libra, and oh my God. Heart eyes, heart eyes, heart eyes, heart eyes. Connection is unmatched. That's what I be trying to tell people. I try to tell Aquarius and Libra that when both of us are healthy and on top of our game, the Libra is balanced and the Aquarius is open. This is such a fantastic combination. Fantastic. Even though my Libras, I'm not in relationship. I didn't have any romantic relationships with Libras, but I had a pseudo with one, kind of one with another, some other things that went on. But hands down, if I had to choose, I would choose a balanced Libra. Seriously. So congratulations, Jennifer. I hope the two of you love each other for many moons to come. All right, guys, please come back soon because I have so much more to say. See you later.